basically what we were shown is a production of what space and the universe and our reality is. We're shown.
It's always good to have a bit of a change of pace. Today we have a sitting in a hole flurf. What is it about people who make shitty arguments that they invariably make shitty videos? I mean, not never, but it is extremely rare that someone who makes bad arguments makes good videos. It's almost like being an idiot makes you a talentless hack to boot. Anyway, fixed.
A movie, and unfortunately we all took that movie as our reality. And
wait, okay, I'm sorry. We were all shown a movie, and now we all think because of some undisclosed piece of cinema, we have decided to believe that the Earth is a globe and the universe works, the way it does. No. I mean, what fucking movie for one thing? And for another, the reason we understand the world to be the way it is because that's what the evidence says. That's how this shit works. If you follow all the evidence to its conclusion, using the old scientific method, the only answer you will get is basically the right one. That is kind of how it works.
Whew, once you realize that,
you disappear into a cloud of blue. And seriously, if that's what you think has happened, if you think that people understand the world based on some fucking random movie, you have to be orders of magnitude more stupid than you could possibly ever think everyone else is. Because that's the dumbest reasoning I've ever heard. Your only revelation should be, damn, I am a fucking moron, aren't I?
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
Actually, this is the first time I have ever been here, and thank non-existo for that, because I can't see good things happening after that intro. And the fact that I know that you are a flat earther. I mean, there's a reason I don't do more than one flurf video a month. Partly because I don't want you lot to burn out on them, but mostly because my brain cell is precious and working very, very hard. So I don't want to overload it with the staggering stupidity that always comes out of you guys' mouths. It deserves better.
And in today's video, I really don't have a plan. I just...
A flurf without a plan? What a shock. That you would come onto the internet, make a video with absolutely no reason or point or anything to say at all. That's so surprising that one of you guys would do that. It's almost like you got nothing and you know deep down but can't figure it out on your own. Maybe it's a cry for help. That or a cry for dumb.
I'm running out of ideas to...
Christ, I was just giving you a hard time, but you actually don't have anything. I mean, come on. Isn't the flat earth the correct and true, boys? Surely you should just be able to spew forth your mountains of supporting data and evidence. There should be endless research papers that you can cite. There should be experiments that you can do and show us that prove that the flat earth and only the flat earth being correct, and gets you endless resources because everything demonstrates that fact. Like how the earth is a fucking globe, you dunce.
Just keep going on and on about the reasons the earth is flat is...
If you find you have only a handful of reasons to believe something, and then there's this great big mountain of reasons to believe something else, maybe... just maybe you should consider those many reasons more closely, or even just consider the handful of reasons you have and wonder why they are so few and so meaningless to other people. Perhaps there's something you are missing. Like the fact that you're wrong.
Pointless to me now. I'm so far into this that...
You just can't pull your head out of your asshole. Yes, it is a problem with many conspiracy theorists. I think it's kind of a sunk cost fallacy thing. You think, well, I've spent so much time and energy believing it that I just cannot not do that. And if I do, the people who supported that belief will hate me for it. And the people who disagreed with me will say, told you so. So the best thing is to stay the course and not change a single iota of my ideas, lest I admit I was wrong, ever.
There really is no debate. At least for me.
Well, isn't that just totally intellectually honest of you, mate? If there is no debate, so to speak, then why exactly are you here? What are you making a video for at all? You might as well not even bother saying anything, because there's nothing to discuss. in your mind apparently. Unless of course the opposite is true and you in fact are very much aware that your worldview doesn't hold up and you merely wish to ward off any comments and criticisms of it. But that of course will not work. So long as you keep believing and more importantly espousing your worldview, or is it a flat view? People will keep letting you know how and why it's wrong. It would be nice if you bothered to listen, but generally it's not even about you. It's about people who might be fooled by your false confidence into agreeing with you.
I do not want to debate the discussion with anyone because
you'll lose? Well, to put it more accurately, you will never win, because that's the thing about being wrong. Even if everyone on Earth were to agree with you, you would still be wrong. Or perhaps it's because you just don't understand that no matter how much you bang on about how correct you are, and no matter how many times you repeat the same hackneyed bullshit, people won't just start believing you and will have the gall to prove you wrong to boot. Those bastards.
I know that a lot of people aren't even capable of discussing this topic because they haven't even researched it for themselves.
Aside from the fact that I and many who would criticize you absolutely have done that, and this "you just haven't even researched it" shtick is just a lazy attempt to get out of arguments that you just aren't equipped for. It's also meaningless in and of itself. I don't have to research the flat Earth the same way I don't have to research the globe Earth. If you are researching to find a conclusion that you already have, you are presupposing the results of your research and are likely to fudge things in that direction. When what you're supposed to do is follow the evidence to its conclusion, even if, and I know this will blow your mind, it isn't what you wanted it to be, what you already decided it was. If you discover by following the evidence that you were wrong, you need to actually accept that, not just pretend that it's just not the right kind of research or some bullshit like that.
And you can't really have a fair argument or even just a conversation when, someone is coming from
not already believing what you believe? Well, that's fucking pathetic, is it not? I mean, I will happily have a chat with whoever. I mean, not a live one. I don't like talking directly to you humans. You're disgusting. But replying to comments or messages or emails and obviously video responses, I do it all the time. And I never assume that because they don't already agree with me that it's pointless. Because I actually have confidence in my positions. And if and when I get proven wrong, which happens from time to time, I don't see that as a bad thing, because unlike your typical flirt, I am far more interested in being actually correct than winning some random fucking argument. If you guys were more like that, then you wouldn't be you wouldn't be flat earthers. So I guess it's just a cow's opinion.
Just complete ignorance, and it's really their programming that is where they're speaking from. It's
programming. Nice use of dehumanizing language there, buddy. It's very easy to see your interlocutors as less than when they are just machines being programmed to believe things rather than earnest and honest people who disagree with you for very good reason, no less. Again, much like I am happy to talk to someone even if they dare to not think the exact same things as me. I also don't think you believe what you believe because you are some mindless drone who believes things for literally no other reason than it's what they told you to believe, but mostly because you simply aren't very good at critical thinking, and that's about it. The good thing is, you can actually get better at it, but you do have to try.
They're not even conscious that they don't know what they're talking about. A lot of times people...
Jesus Christ, I would call it projection, but you need some level of self-awareness for that. No, dude, you don't know what you're talking about, and you clearly are attempting to not know what you're talking about with this attempt at nipping discussion in the bud. But here's the thing. If you are right, and I mean you aren't, but if somehow you were, then it is absolutely on you to put that out there and convince people. And not just people, but the scientific world at large, by proving that you are right. If the Earth is flat, that's actually really important. It affects the way so much of how the world works that we really would need to know. In fact, we ought to know. We ought to have noticed when all the satellites fell out of the sky and that large ships don't disappear over the horizon and all the things that continue to function the way they do, because, wait a minute guys, I think the Earth might actually be a globe. Big shonk.
Basically, will just tell me lies, even about the globe and how the globe model works, or how the sun and the moon work above us. And
oh, so now we're liars. Well, that's nice and convenient, isn't it? Again, I don't think you're a liar. I think you are a moron. But not in a way that you could never stop being wrong, but more that you've gotten yourself locked into a mindset and now you need to be making up excuses to not engage. Because every time someone tells you something that you have no counter to, it makes you feel some negative emotion that you want to avoid. Be it that it makes you angry or sad or even hungry, I don't know. But what you should do is embrace that feeling and use it to actually dive into why you feel like that, rather than blocking it all out. And that way you can fix it and stop feeling like that. It's what I do when I'm proven wrong, and it's so much less stressful than just pretending I'm still right. I promise you.
they're just, speaking from this program, from their textbooks, from the Bill Nye Science Guy movies, and
Fucking Bill Nye the Science Guy. Wow, that just Americentric worldview. It really makes you sound like a dumbass. I had no idea who he was until I was a full-grown adult, because he was never a thing in the UK or around the vast majority of the world, and yet even without his sage counsel, we came to the same conclusion. Almost like, that's a really fucking stupid thing to say. Oh, and textbooks. Maybe you should try reading one. I know reading is hard, but if you learn, you might, learn.
it's just, I don't have anything left in me to debate this.
See, that sounds more of a you problem than anyone else, and it blows my mind that instead of thinking, maybe I'm feeling like this because I'm wrong, this instead continues to show you to yourself how right you are and that everyone else is just brainwashed sheeple for no reason. The depths of your denial are so deep. James Cameron couldn't fucking explore it. Now that's a reference you fuckers haven't thought about in years, isn't it?
Topic with anyone. And, I used to just want to make videos, proving it.
Then do it, honestly. Not having everyone agree with you shouldn't stop that. Because I have seen your comments section. It's not like most of them aren't all nodding their heads at you. But if just a few people saying, hey, I think you're wrong, if that gets to you so much, fuck, if a few people arguing with me put me off, I would have stopped this shit years ago. But it doesn't put me off, because if they're right, they're right. And I just changed to suit that. And if they're wrong, I'll figure out why. Again, if you can't do those things, you really need to actually consider how strong you really believe your position to be. Because it sounds pretty fucking weak to me. But that's mostly because it's wrong.
And, maybe show you old articles and...
Ah, of course, old articles. The best scientific proof. I mean, who needs up-to-date knowledge that's actually correct and uses everything we know and understand when you have some shit written by some stupid asshole from forever ago who had no fucking idea how the world works and felt the need to tell the world of their ignorance, especially when they agree with you. That makes it more scientific.
Show you how the flat earth isn't just this new resurgence as of, the past couple years.
Why would that matter? You know an idea isn't more correct based on its age, right? Why the hell would that even be a thing you felt the need to say? There are tons of ideas that are very old and are also very wrong. If anything, it would seem an idea being around for a super long time is more likely to mean that it's wrong. I mean, that's not always the case, but it's definitely something to think about. Also, old ideas that turn out to be true are often refined and made more complete as concepts over the years, to the point where what we have now, while based on the original concept, isn't exactly the same thing anymore. Flat Earth doesn't change at all for some reason.
It's actually been around forever, and...
Forever? Citation needed, brah. And the evidence that has shown the Earth to be a globe has been around for thousands of years. So which one gets to be right, since they're both old now? Surely it isn't based purely on the age of an idea, otherwise you really ought to be out worshipping some form of sun god or some other such ancient nonsense. So perhaps we should go with the idea that the evidence points to. Oh right, the globe, obviously. Great.
Flat earthers aren't just this new crazy thing that appeared.
Oh, good to know. So it's an old crazy thing that appeared. Thank you so much for clearing that up. I would have just continued thinking it was simply a crazy thing without any concept of its age, since it doesn't fucking matter how old an idea is, just whether or not it's correct. But it is always better to be more accurate rather than less, so thank you again.
And it's just, I can't even...
Oh, I cannot even either. If there is a thing that I am incapable of doing, it's even. Now odd, that's a thing I can totally do. In fact, if there's a more odd person on this planet, I haven't met them. But even, no, it's just a thing that I can't. Even.
Really go on about it because I'm just drained, ultimately. I feel drained by just giving it so much and,
I don't know. I mean, I do a similar thing, but not just on a single topic. I cover many topics, things that a not insignificant amount of people do believe. And I dig into them and I try to figure out where they've gone wrong. Or maybe what they know that I don't. Or if it's just something completely nonsensical. And a lot of the people who believe those things will happily come tell me what a moron that I am. But they rarely come with anything backing them up for some reason. And maybe that's the difference. You're exhausted because you have to fight against the science, the thing that constantly works to give us a pretty dang accurate explanation for everything. And you are bringing to the table, well, nothing. I mean, it's not technically nothing. It's blogs and it's old articles and it's your friends all agreeing with you. But compared to the science, it's as good as not bothering to bring anything at all. I can see why you might find it so exhausting.
Now I know that you really can't tell anyone that the earth is flat. They have to find that out for themselves.
Well, isn't that just a total damnation of the idea? You can teach someone to know and understand literally anything that's true, even if only a basic version of it. But the only way you can apparently learn the earth is flat is to teach yourself. AKA, you have to want to believe it already and go out and find things that confirm that belief. It's almost like it's complete fucking nonsense.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six channel Spoonstar Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the...